Today I fucked up by kicking a shit. Good morning Reddit. I know that the vast majority of you who read the title are immediately thinking, why? So please, allow me to explain. This obviously didn't happen today, but instead approximately 20 years ago, when I was barely 7 years old. My family, on my father's side, are Australian, and all live spread across the country. I am from and live in the UK. When I was 7 years old I went to visit my Australian family with my mum and dad. We were there for a month or so I think. I, being a pasty, pale-skinned child, did not fare well in the Australian summer heat, so quite often stayed in the shade or inside playing Pokemon. Also, I was scared of the multitude of things that I was vaguely aware could kill me. However, one day we were on our way somewhere. The destination is not important. We had stopped in a car park of some sort that provided no shade and was partially enveloped by a grassy slope with a flat top. I remember on this day I was wearing cream-colored shorts and sandals, with socks of course. So we all got out the car, and while my mum and dad discussed something I thought, let's climb this hill in front of the car. Climbed up with ease and looked left and right. When I looked left, I saw something. It was maybe 10 feet away. It looked like bread. You know that bread commonly named tiger loaf? The crusty topped loaf that looks cracked and tastes amazing? Yeah, that one. So, what does dumbass 7-year-old me think is the best course of action? Kick the bread, crap myself, and start running at this circular loaf of bread sitting atop the grassy embankment. I was aiming to achieve a fabulous kick much like that of someone from the AFL or Six Nations and score a try through the imaginary goalposts yonder. I run at it with speed, and as I swing my leg and make contact I am shocked that this bread is soft. And it was at this point I realized it was not bread. It was a big, sloppy pile of shit which had formed a crust as it baked under the Australian sun. My foot passed clean through it and I was splattered pretty much from head to toe in shit. The vast majority of my leg was caked in feces, and it was then that I did what any 7-year-old would do if they found themselves caked in shit: scream and cry. Now I don't know if my mind has blocked out the stench of that particular pile of feces, or if I was in so much shock and too busy screaming to notice, but I do recall my mum retching as she peeled off my shit-laden shorts and wiped my legs with tissues from her handbag, basically smearing my leg in shit, but it was the best she could do. I remember she said something along the lines of, "Why son, what in God's name made you think kicking that was a good idea?" To which I could only say, through sobs and tears, I thought it was bread. Anyway, I learned that day that if you think you see a full loaf of bread sitting on the ground, for the love of God don't kick it. Have a good Christmas everyone. Stay safe and let's try and put 2020 behind us. Too long didn't read. As a 7-year-old I quickly realized that sometimes bread is actually shit and thus you should not kick it. /kids are fucking stupid. I think your answer of "I thought it was bread" probably only gave your mother more questions as to why you kicked it. From that moment onwards, did you notice your mother hiding loaves of bread from you or avoiding taking you to bakeries in case you suddenly started kicking bread? Thank you so damn much. I am attending a very boring class and this made me laugh out loud. No need to worry, the mic was off. Smile. Your story really cheered me up. Reminds me of the time when I was around 5 and found some old crusty dog shit in my front yard. I thought that since it was dry and crusty it was okay to touch because it wouldn't get on my hands. When I wrapped my hand around it I found out it was not dry or crusty on the bottom or under the top layer. That made my day. Today I fucked up by working on my day off. I've been working from home, and a lot of people are off this time of year. So it was a quiet day at work today, and I'm extra productive when I'm not getting interrupted. In hindsight, it was odd that nobody sent so much as an email. I did have one bit of human interaction when I had to call the corporate help desk. I had an open ticket, and I just wanted to know if I'd be resolved today, or after the holiday. Took a while, but the senior help desk person answered. He must have thought my issue was super important to call on Christmas Eve, and he got me in touch with another senior person who fixed me right on the spot. I wanted to share the good news about the problem being fixed, but everyone was offline. Luckily they don't need it until Tuesday, so I sent an email instead. Around noon I started wondering if today was an early release day. I went to the HR site to see if we leave early. Sure enough, today was Christmas Eve holiday. I looked through the directory, and I was the only one online. Too long didn't read, I just got off work, but we were closed today. Lol, I accidentally teleworked today as well. I only realized we had the day off when I logged into a meeting, 15 minutes late. And no one was there. Ha ha ha, cheers mate. So you not getting paid for today? Salary? No extra money? At least in the old days, offices were deserted on holiday and we could easily know it. And back in the day, we would have had a long lunch yesterday. On the bright side, at least you didn't do anything to get fired on your day off. Hey there, you/Harry_Cranes_bowtie. Unfortunately yesterday we received a time and expense log for you clocking in half a day's work during a holiday. Unfortunately, because you didn't report this discrepancy, we have terminated you immediately for a misappropriation of funds. Since you were so productive today, can you just watch Netflix all day on Monday and call it even? Today I fucked up by trying to calm my dogs down. This actually happened yesterday morning. I was cleaning my house, tidying up to get some work done when my two dogs decided to summon the hounds of hell. They've done this a few times, but always inside, usually when I'm leaving the house and they want to go with me. Well, not yesterday. Yesterday, they were in my fully fenced backyard and decided to start howling, barking, and generally just doing the dog equivalent of screaming at the top of their lungs. I was really embarrassed and worried someone would call the cops and think my dogs were being abused or something, so I ran outside and started begging them to please stop. However, the situation got to me after a minute and I started giggling while hysterically saying please stop and please don't do this. Apparently my near hysterical voice sounds very much like I'm begging for my life because I managed to get the girls calmed down and in the house, and about 30 seconds later my neighbor came charging into the house with a gun and 911 on speed dial with the intent that he was going to save my life. He made it about 3 steps in the door and saw me alone, eating mints, and just stopped and started looking around. He then confesses to me that he and his wife thought I was being murdered or something because they heard me begging for my life, while my dogs were making sounds they'd never heard before. I'm so embarrassed I'm afraid to go get my mail in case I bump into them. Thanks girls. Honestly though, it's good to know they have my back in case something ever did happen. Too long didn't read. My dogs sporadically enjoy screaming for no reason, and while begging them to stop so my neighbors wouldn't think they were being abused, my neighbors instead thought I was being murdered. That's awesome of your neighbors. Maybe give the guy a pair of Superman socks as a light-hearted thank you, and a bottle of wine. I'm sure laughing at the situation will make you feel better. Your neighbor is a badass. Neighbors looking out for neighbors, awesome. You don't have dogs. You have trolls. Great involved neighbors, 2 hearts.